Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. First, I just want to quickly apologize. I told quite a few of you that I was actually going to be posting a Thanksgiving video, and I went through the whole process of doing my turkey roulades and did homemade graham cracker crust and homemade pumpkin pie. Got everything done. Also did a homemade stuffing and recorded videos for all of those. And was going to compile it into one supersized episode for the holidays, but unfortunately technical issues be damned, because ended up with some corrupt files and ultimately was just not able to get everything uploaded and effectively edited to turn it into a video. Some of the parts that were key to the process of how I was making things just didn't record, and yeah, there was just a whole bunch of technical issues, and yeah, it was kind of a train wreck. So for those that were hoping to see that episode, unfortunately, I won't be able to do that one. Maybe next year or maybe sometime along the road, I'll just do one just for fun. And then I also wanted to quickly kind of give an insight as to what is going on with the show. It's kind of an evolving monster as I build it out. Ultimately, it's going to eventually be a science-heavy cooking show where essentially we focus on various nutrients and nutrition science and what is going on inside the body as we eat certain things. So I've kind of alluded to some of these compounds and things that we've touched on with like the allium family and garlic and onions and all of that during my science time breakaway. And it's going to evolve into something a little bit more in depth. So it's going to have kind of a three-part setup where we're going to have kind of like a cold open that talks about the nutrient that we're going to be focusing on that day. And then it's going to cut to the cooking section where we're going to actually go through the process of cooking whatever the meal is that includes the ingredient that has the compound that we're talking about. And then there'll be the science time breakaway where we actually go into the science a lot heavier and a lot deeper. It'll all be high level. I don't mean deep as far as like complexity of what it is, but it's just a little bit more in depth so that everybody has a better understanding of what I'm talking about with the science. And then we'll come back, show the completed dish, and then kind of just have the closing remarks and, you know, kind of call it a day. The episodes are going to tend to probably be around 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to try and be respectful of folks' time. I know that longer videos on these types of platforms just don't tend to do very well, so I'm going to try to contain it to about 15 to 20 minutes. So if you have any feedback or comments or ideas or insight or questions regarding that, definitely let me know. We're in the process, or I'm in the process of compiling editing software and various cameras so that I can get multiple angles and things like that. And just ultimately, I'm not gonna fully launch until I have all the pieces that I wanna get to make it the show that I want, so that when it does actually launch as the show that it's going to be, it's that, and then it can just kind of evolve from there. And so in the meantime, these videos are just kind of going to be practice runs, you know, showing recipes and things like that. And I'll delve into a little bit of science every once in a while, but for the most part, it's going to be just kind of going through the motions of doing some cool recipes and showing you some cool techniques and kind of just having fun practicing, getting better on the camera. And yeah, so that's pretty much what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be going through a fun recipe that I actually personally love, using some short ribs. We're going to braise them first. We're going to sear them on the stovetop first to lock in all the flavors. Then we're going to add our ingredients that are going to add the flavor once it starts braising. We're going to throw them in the braiser for a couple of hours in the hot box, low and slow, and then take them out, shred them up, and turn them into street tacos. So we're going to do some braised short rib street tacos and spicy green beans as the total dish for the day. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, the first thing that we want to do is we want to sear our short ribs up on the cooktop. That's just to lock in all the flavors. So what we're going to do first is just throw some salt and pepper on there, just let them set for a second, and then we're going to throw them into a scalding hot pan, sear on all the sides, top, bottom side, top, you know, front, back, all of that good stuff. Then we're going to add all of our flavorants, which are right down there. And once we get them all flavored and get the liquid in there and get everything ready to go, we're just going to throw the lid on, toss them into the hot box, which is currently preheated to 325 degrees. And then we're going to just let them braise in the hot box for probably about 2.5 to 3.5 hours depending. I only got 3 short ribs here, so it's not going to take as long as it would if you were to have more meat in the pan. So probably closer to the 2.5 to 3 hour side. And then once we're done with that, we'll pull them out, take them off the bone, shred them up, and then start making our tacos. So yeah, let's get going on doing the searing. So I'm gonna adjust the camera and get everything situated so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Move this guy out of the way. All right, so the first thing that you're probably going to notice is, actually I need to put my apron on, that I'm not wearing gloves and I'm handling meat. The reason being I actually ran out of my gloves. And right now with Corona going on and PPE being a huge issue, gloves are at a very high commodity, so they're very expensive right now. And they are better served being in hospitals, helping nurses and doctors and people that actually need them. So I'm gonna go without gloves for a while until they're a little bit more reasonably priced, and that will kind of signal to me that it's okay to start buying them again. So let me grab my apron and we'll get started. Gonna be fun and delicious, and this will be a recipe that we'll hold in the fridge for a couple of days. So being that today is Monday and tomorrow is Taco Tuesday, chances are I'm probably gonna save these for tomorrow, but who knows, maybe I'll make it Taco Monday and just not care. So we'll see. All right, so a little trusty bamboo salt holder using kosher salt, and just get that on there. And don't be afraid to liberally salt these bad boys up. Just set that down so that I can use my other hand without cross-contaminating, because again, I'm sans gloves today. Habit. I always want to reach with my right hand because I'm right-handed, but alas, that would get not so good stuff into my salts. All right, so all the sides are salted. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. And I can definitely smell the heat coming off of my pan, so it's absolutely ready to go. All right, so I'm gonna grab my butter. I like to add a couple tablespoons of butter into the mix. Sorry about that. All right, you're gonna let them go on all the sides for about a minute per side, and we're gonna get all 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you can see, we got everything nice and caramelized on the outside. You can hear them sizzling, and they are ready to go. So it's really a quick process. Again, you just want to go about a minute to 90 seconds per side on medium-high heat. Chances are you're going to set off your alarm. It is what it is, or your smoke alarm. So just gonna have to deal with it. But just wanted to show you what that looked like. It's beautiful. And now I'll get back to the main side camera and we will get back into throwing everybody into the pool. All right, so I'm gonna get to doing some chopping and start with the onion. All right, y'all, so the time is here. We've been cooking for about 3.5 hours. In that time, hopefully you guys were productive. I know I was. I got a workout in. I got some work done for school and ended up watching some great British Bake Off because, I mean, let's be real, that show is fantastic. But yeah, so now we're gonna pop these guys out of the oven and I'm gonna show you how to shred them real quick, and then we'll come back to assemble once it's time for dinner, and we'll call it good. So let's get these guys out of the hot box. Oh my God, does it smell good. So you want to just take a nice big bowl and you're going to fish out the actual short ribs, and we'll get the bones out here in just a second. And some of the veg will come with you, that's completely fine. This guy literally just came straight off the bone. And the beauty is it's not going to take much. Just slides right out. That's 2 bones. Got 1 more to go. Slides right out. Beautiful. Now, set these guys aside. And all we're going to do is shred this up, and you can see some of the adobo sauce is already kind of caramelized into the meat itself. Right. So now we're just going to get some of the adobo sauce, add it to our meat. And again, if some of the veg comes with you, that's totally fine. Just be mindful of the whole adobo peppers. All right. And then just kind of give it a stir and kind of see how mixed together you got it. Ended up with an adobo. Let's get that guy out of there. Dinner is gonna be good tonight. All right, so we're gonna set that aside, and we're gonna start working on our spicy green beans here in just a little bit, and then we'll be ready to plate up and call it a day. All right, see you guys in a second. All right, so now we're all set up to cook our green beans and our spicy green beans. As you can see, I've been browning some butter. And now we're just gonna toast off some slivered almonds. Just throw a few in there. Let them cook up. Got our meat set aside, so we're gonna be building our tacos here in just a little bit. Right now we're just cooking off the almonds just a little bit, and then we're gonna add in the spices and the green beans here in just a second. And really all you're looking for is just getting a little bit of color on the almonds and just kind of starting to smell some of those oils come through. Got it on medium-high heat. And it's not taking long, and they're already starting to take on some color, so I'm gonna go ahead and toss in the green beans. Sorry about the vent. And you just want to get them nice and coated in some of the butter that we were browning. And now we add the spicy. We're going to throw in some garlic powder. And crushed red pepper flake. This is one of my favorite spices to have in the cabinet. And we're going for spicy green beans, so you definitely don't want to be shy with the red pepper flake. And that's that. You just saute them for probably about 3 or 4 minutes. Let them take on some of the heat and some of the color. And that is that.